Hello, it is I. Now when developers add brand new features into a game, it massively improves the gameplay experience. We've seen this with Need for Speed, Test Drive Unlimited, and of course Forza Horizon games as well. However, sometimes, very rarely, these new features sort of ruin the game. And Forza Horizon 5 is no exception, as there are quite a few of them in the game. So here are 8 features which in my opinion have slightly worsened Forza Horizon 5. Now before we get into this video, make sure to obliterate that like button. 4,000 likes is the target for today. Of course, the more exposure this video gets, the more likely that the devs would actually act upon this video. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into this video.
She wanna call me asking favors.
Okay, now the Eliminator is a great minigame, don't get me wrong, but it feels like Forza Horizon 5's map is tailored to the Eliminator in a way, as there is so much open space, almost too much, that the map just feels so empty with a lack of anything. Now don't get me wrong, this is good for off-road racing, but does anybody really care about off-road racing? I mean, I guess it could be fun, but road racing is the main aspect of Forza Horizon games. So I would have liked to see more of a focus on road, seeing as this is primarily a road racing game. I mean, take a look at games like Need for Speed, as they have very dense roads which make for incredible street racing. With dense roads you have more creative freedom and choices of how you're going to shape up the race to be. With Forza Horizon 5's map, every racetrack pretty much seems like the same, so it does get pretty boring racing in Forza Horizon 5 in my opinion. Now don't get me wrong, I don't want the Eliminator to go because I do really enjoy the Eliminator, it's a fun minigame, but I would have liked to see more of a road focus in a Forza Horizon game over open space, because don't get me wrong, it is fun for like off-roading and that, but the open space just makes the map feel so empty. Okay, now don't get me wrong, I really like the idea of the festival playlist. I like how it updates every week with new challenges and you can unlock brand new cars. It's such a useful feature. But there are quite a few things which I don't like about it, which I think really needs to change. First of all, I don't like the massive focus on it. Like when you boot up the game, it's the first thing you see, and it kind of feels like a chore, like the game's forcing you to do the task. Like, guys, shut up, man. If I want to do the task, then I'll do the task. Stop rubbing it in my face, man. And 9 times out of 10, the tasks are really boring and repetitive. It's like the same races, the same jumps, the same drift trial. Like, it's just so boring, man. And secondly, the brand new cars you can unlock aren't actually brand new cars, because so many of these cars were seen in the older games where they locked them away and then they branded them as brand new cars even though they're clearly not. You know, cars like the BMW M3 GTS, the Alpine A110, the Aventador J, and this AE86 which I'm driving right now. These were cars that were seen in the older games where they're now branded as new cars which are new to the festival playlist. Like, why are you scamming us? Honestly, it's rare to win a genuinely new car in the festival playlist. What I'm trying to say is the new cars that are unlocked in the festival playlist should always be these brand new cars. They shouldn't be cars that are hidden away and they're branded as new cars even though they're clearly not. Because that's just scamming us, man. Like, why would you get rid of content that was seen in the older games and then brand them as new cars and they're like, oh man, it just annoys me, man. So I really hope the devs could stop rubbing the festival playlist in our face whenever we boot up the game, because we don't care about it that much, and that they stop hiding away cars that we saw in the older games and let us win genuinely brand new cars to the franchise in the festival playlist. Because it should be illegal to hide away existing content in the game and label it as brand new. Like, that shit, why are you doing this, Forza? You're ruining the game. I want to unlock brand new cars, man.
Damn, I'm on red alert.
As you may or may not know, Forza Horizon 5 is a Game Pass game. For those who don't know what Game Pass is, it's basically a monthly subscription thing which gives you free monthly games. And this is basically the reason why Forza Horizon 5 has 10 million players at launch, which is kind of crazy. It's basically because of Game Pass, and you may think this is fantastic, and it is, but it comes with problems as well. You see, Game Pass is made for casual players to try out games they've never tried before. Hence, these games are tailored for people with very short attention spans. And this explains why at the start of the game in Forza Horizon 5 you see an incredible cutscene and engaging intro, but afterwards the game just seems dead. There's no atmosphere, there's no cutscenes, the vibes are completely dead after the first hour of gameplay, which is so sad to see. It shouldn't be like this for a AAA racing game, arguably the biggest open world racing game ever made. There should be way more effort put into this game instead of just making them games with less than a day's worth of content. This also explains why the devs hand you everything at the start of the game instead of you earning it yourself, because they want you to experience the best cars in the first hours of the game before you uninstall it. I mean, the progression is completely gone, which takes me very nicely to my next point.
Else you went up in the dirt, man. I don't wanna
Now, if you played Forza Horizon 2, you may remember the Ferrari 360 Showcase event, where you race the planes and at the end of the event, you receive the car as a gift, which was really cool. And the devs actually realized that we really appreciated this gift, so they gifted us more and more cars until it got very annoying and everything was handed to us for free, including the insane starter cars like Corvettes and oh my god, why are we getting these cars as starter cars? Theo brought up this good point in one of his videos, but what's the point in low powered cars in the game if we're gonna start in insane cars like this? There's literally no use for these slower cars. Nobody would want to go from a Corvette to a Renault 8 Gordini or something. Like, why? If we're gonna have these slow cars in the game, then why can't they make these our starter cars? Because that would be so much better than this. I mean, when's the last time you drove a D-class car in Forza Horizon 5? Unless you're weird and your favorite car is something like a Frog Eye Sprite, then it's probably been months since you've driven a D-class car. So as generous as it was to gift us that Ferrari in Forza Horizon 2, it would be even more nice if free cars could be more of a rare occurrence in Forza Horizon games. Because when these cars are gifted to us for free every single time, it just doesn't feel special anymore.
Humble beginnings and now I make it stride.
Now in Forza Horizon 3 we got a Hot Wheels expansion, in Horizon 4 we got a Lego expansion, and Horizon 5 we got a Hot Wheels expansion again. Now don't get me wrong, these were fairly fun expansions for the week or two that they lasted, but it's because of these expansions that Forza are targeting a completely different audience for their games. Okay, hear me out, this is a weird analogy, but it's kinda like Porsche. As Porsche were known for creating incredible sports cars for driving enthusiasts, but they ventured out to SUVs, saw the money, and are now producing more SUVs for mums and sports cars for enthusiasts. And that's kind of like how I see the Forza Horizon franchise. They wanted to introduce more of an arcade feel, they saw the money, and are now making super childish racing games, which is so disappointing to see. So although the money may be good in arcadey DLCs and they can be pretty fun, Forza should really focus more on satisfying car guys that love Forza over casual children that don't care about the franchise. Because I'm sure that Forza Horizon players would much prefer another Fast and Furious DLC over a Lego one like this. Come on.
Nothing changed with the rhythm and the rhyme.
Okay, now this is a very weird point, but hear me out. Patching bugs like broken convoys and random ghosting is very much appreciated as those things need to be fixed. But Forza also tends to patch glitches which us players have a lot of fun with too. I mean, in Horizon 3 we had a wide body glitch which allowed us to create some very unique cars, but now it's gone. In Horizon 4 we could enter the festival through the drone, but Horizon 5 we can't. And in Horizon 5 there was a Thayakaran speed glitch, but of course they patched that as well, which is very disappointing. Now I get that they patched these glitches to stop game critics from calling the game broken, as that results in bad reviews, which is bad for the video game. But come on Forza, why can't you keep some of the fun glitches in the game as well? I mean, this M3 wing thing is very fun, I love it so much. I'm surprised you haven't patched it yet. Please don't patch it because it's really fun. So Forza, thank you very much for patching the annoying bugs in the game, but please try and keep some of the fun glitches in the game as well, because it feels like you're trying to take the fun away from us. Like, these glitches are so much fun.
Everybody eating cause that's how we live the best life.
Now, one of the many reasons why people love Forza Horizon 1 was because of the story mode. There were incredible cutscenes, interesting characters, and most importantly, antagonists. I can't say that word, I lisp so much there. Anyways, antagonists really made the game magical as it gave the game so much character. So in Forza Horizon 5, why did they get rid of these evil characters and replace them with overly friendly ones? I mean, the most villainy character in Forza Horizon 5 is probably Tristan from Born Rich, and he talks like a man-child. Meanwhile, old Horizon games had characters like Duke Maguire who really gave off antagonist vibes. I mean, just look at the guy, he looks like he's gonna slap you up. So Forza, if you're watching, then bun man like Jay, Ramiro, and Haley, and bring back proper antagonists into the game. Because it feels so boring playing a Forza Horizon game without a proper story mode.
But I see the fakes and the real. I see the jealousy build.
Come on, do I even have to say anything? I've complained about online convoys way too much in my video, so let me quickly summarize it here for you right now. In old Forza Horizon games, we used to have online lobbies which were fantastic. They were easy to set up, they were private, everything was just perfect about them. However, since Horizon 4, they brought in convoys which are worse in quite literally every way possible. You see, online lobby, good. Online convoy, bad. So Forza, please don't fix something that's not broken and bring back online lobbies. They were so much better. Oh wait, what? That was my 8th point in this video? Oh, well, screw it. Here's the 9th one.
Cause I ain't playing with that time. That's why
Now, if you play through every Forza Horizon game, I'm sure we can all agree that 1 and 2 were far more enjoyable than 3, 4, and 5. And the reason why it was because in the early Horizon games you weren't the festival director. You were a complete newbie, and that was fantastic. It was nice to be new to the festival, start your way from the bottom and make your way to the top. But nowadays you're the festival director with the world at your feet, and you get to start off in a C8 Corvette with a Supra and a Ford Bronco. Like, what is this? Now I get that this would be nice for casual players who want to try out a racing game, but for hardcore racing game fans, this is not it. Progression is what we want. It's been so long since we've seen progression in a Forza Horizon game. I mean, what is there to play for if you unlocked everything within the first hour of the game? It's so useless. So I'm really hoping that in future Horizon games, you start your game from the very bottom and make your way up, because starting the game at the very top does not motivate me at all to play through the game. Yo, well, go on, my slime. Did you enjoy this video? If so, then you might want to watch this video up here, so make sure to give that a watch right now. But if you want to subscribe to my channel, then press this button down below here. Press it right now. Thank you very much. Haha. Anyways, have a good one, guys. Cheers.